Okay, we're continuing this Maimar Baruch HaGomel. It's on page 364 in Contrasim Aleph. The Al Yadesha and Neshama, that by means of the soul, Yoredis comes down Lamata below, Lislabish Baguf, to be put into a body, Benefesh Bahamis, and an animal soul. Davka, specifically, the soul comes into a body and into an animal soul. What's the animal soul? Your natural, selfish personality. Ubafrad, and especially Bizmana Galut, and especially in the time of exile. Asher Rabu Rahmanan Islana Minius Vikuvim, that there are a lot of difficulties and obstacles. Belimud Torah, and learning the Torah and doing the commandments. Especially in Russia there were. Maybe it was worse in America. Could be. In America they, because there was so much freedom, and everybody, all the Jews said, now listen, now we have a chance to be like everybody else, to be accepted, finally. In Russia they never really accepted us. In Europe they really never accepted us. Now in America they'll accept us, let's be just like them. So a lot of Jews left Judaism. That's a tremendous obstacle to doing Torah mitzvahs. The person says, why should I do it? The nosaf lazeh, in addition to this, dagas partirdas aparnasa, even if you do the Torah and the commandments, there are problems with making money. There were so many Jews, they came to America and they said, I am not going to work on Shabbos. And they saw their family was going hungry. They didn't know what to do. What are you supposed to do? Well, God will help. Didn't work. Right? They saw things were getting worse and worse. And a lot of people just went and worked on Shabbos. They had no choice. They felt they had no choice. Asher tarud umutrad beyoter, that making money makes you very, very, how do you say, confused. V'im kol zeh, and nevertheless mitgaber, a person can defy al atzmo, himself, begavura atzuma, with tremendous strength. The whole world is screaming, take off your beard. The whole world is screaming at you. What are you putting tzitzis out? Take off the kippah. 99.99% of that is imaginary. It's imaginary worry. There are times when it's true. There's times when it definitely is a big problem. There are certain people that are even allowed to take off their beards. It says the people that work in the palace or someone like that with the king, and nobody there has a beard. No one ever has a beard. So it says it's permissible for a person to take off his beard. Permissible. But except for that, but the world screams out. The world tells us, be like everybody else. Umagbir lo zman, and a person nevertheless takes time in the world, la'asak b'Torah v'avodah shebelev, to work at Torah and service of the heart, which is to feel a prayer. When he prays, he uses his heart. He starts to feel how good God is, and he loves God, how awesome God is. U'makayim et mitzvahs, and he does the commandments be'emunah tahor, with pure faith, be'kabbalat ol malchut shamayim, accepting the yoke of heaven. Ve'eno mitpa'el klal mishum menir v'ikuv, and he's not affected at all by any preventions or obstacles or stumbling blocks. Elo omid chazak, but he stands firmly b'dato, in his mind, lilmod l'lamed, to learn and to teach. He may behold al yedei zeh davka, by means of this nasa aliyat neshama, the soul gets risen up. No, now you have to take that single page. Yeah, that's right. Okay, there's the the special thing about Judaism is, if you read the Bible, the Jewish Bible, it doesn't talk about rewards or punishments. It doesn't talk about going to heaven and going to hell. In other words, what is your motivation supposed to be for learning Torah and doing the commandments? Why? Because it's true. Where'd you get such an idea like this? From Abraham. He founded the Jewish religion based on doing the truth, even if you're going to lose everything, and be willing to lose everything. It said, kill your son, circumcise yourself, leave your house, leave everything you've got, go wandering around. Don't worry, you're going to get the land of Israel. He didn't get it. And Yitzchak didn't get it. Yaakov didn't get it. Moshe didn't get it. Land of Israel. You're going to go, you're going to have your children. Don't worry, do what I say. God says you're going to have children like the sand on the sea. He had one son, Yitzchak. He said, well, what about Yishmael? He's going to have a lot of children. No, not Yishmael. I mean, God, you can get out of the promise. You know, you promised me a lot of children. Yishmael's going to have a lot of children. No. Yitzchak, he's going to be your child. Only from Yitzchak is going to come the blessing. Now take him and kill him. Makes no sense. Abraham said, sure, no problem. What type of a religion is this? It's talking about doing things because you believe that they're true. And you're not thinking about what you're going to get. It says that is called the essence of the soul. That's really the essence of the soul. Going, defying the whole entire world for the sake of the truth, for no personal benefit whatsoever. It says that's the greatest personal benefit of all, that you're not selfish. Good? The soul gets risen up b'medrega elyona yoter, to a higher level. You start operating in the world in a not selfish way. You operate in the world attached to true eternal values that aren't affected by the world. That's already godly. That's a little bit of godliness in the world. Then the soul, even before it came down into the body, it had, before the soul came into the body, it had no challenges. Before the soul came into the body, it had no identity. It was just floating, right? Everyone was getting free handouts, like you say, sitting at the table of the schnorrers. Right? Now it comes down, a person has to take a stand. Sometimes that's a very difficult thing to do. Dahine, Omer Zal, the rabbis say, Mashbiim oto teitzadik valte rasha. It says that the soul, right before he comes into the body, is given an oath. Okay, Herschel, is given an oath. Be a tzaddik and don't be a rasha. A tzaddik who's zakai, and a rasha who chayav. A tzaddik is a person, a tzaddik is a person that is pure, that is, how do you say, innocent, and a rasha is a person that's chayav, that he's guilty, that he owes, he's a debtor. A rasha is a person that does not want to repay his debt to God. That's one of the definitions of doing tshuva. Tshuva means return. What does it mean, return? Deciding that you're going to start returning to God what you owe Him. God gives me everything, He creates me. I think I owe Him a little bit, putting tefillin on, doing something. I owe so much. That's what a rasha is, a person that he's chayav. He doesn't repay his debts to the Creator. A person, before he's put into the world, he's sworn in. Be a tzaddik and don't be a rasha. The soul, before it comes into the world, has no idea what in the world what are you talking about? I have no obligations, I have no responsibilities. The soul is pure truth. No obligations, responsibilities. There's no lies up there in heaven. Comes down into the world and says, listen, you're going to go now into the world, be a tzaddik. Okay, no problem, be a tzaddik. A tzaddik is a person connected to God. Okay, Herschel, connected to God, no problem. And don't be a rasha. So says, what does that mean? I mean, I just promised I'm going to be a tzaddik. Isn't that enough? You'll see. Make the oath. Okay, I won't be a rasha. Okay, that's enough. He says, no, even if everybody tells you you're a tzaddik, you have to look at yourself like a rasha. Hey, that's pretty confusing. What's it? Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. As a little baby is born, that's him.
That's what they say right before the song goes down. Don't worry, you'll see.
You'll see. Right. Don't worry. God says, I'll be with you. You just...
Just keep your eyes closed, go straight ahead.
Right. For you're doing, it's known. The Perish Inyan HaShavua, what does it mean? That the soul is given an oath. It is the language of Soveya, Zat, satisfied. The soul is like giving a person a good meal before he goes into battle. Maybe not immediately before, but they say an army runs on its stomach. You ever hear that? I think that Napoleon said, Yimach Shemo. But he said he knew what he was talking about. He was a big fighter. An army runs on its stomach. Same thing a yeshiva. When does the yeshiva really called the yeshiva? It has its own lunchroom. It has its own lunchroom, right? A dormitory. That's called the yeshiva, the lunch. Hayu, the be'ez Yeridus and Neshama, the time that the soul comes down in the world, Lidlavish Beguf, to be put into a body, Nodnim lo kochos, it is given a meal, power, satisfied. Alzeh shetochel lidgaber, so that it will be able to overpower al chumiyat aguf, on the physicality of the body. The soul is given special powers that it didn't have up in heaven. Special powers. It's like a person before he goes into battle. So they give him a gun. They teach him how to use the gun. Give him ammunition. They teach him how to put the ammunition in, how to take the gun apart, how to put it together. He says, why do I have to know how to do this? Because with this, you're going to save your life, you're going to kill people. What? That's what I'm going to do, kill people. There, 1 second, don't ask questions. Here's a knife. We're teaching you how to use this knife. This is in order to stab people. Close hand-to-hand combat. And in the middle, you have a pistol. That's sometimes used for hand-to-hand combat, sometimes it's used for a little bit long distance. Something that the whole purpose is, you're going to have a lot of enemies now. You're going into battle, you're going to have a lot of enemies. And you have to have weapons. You don't have weapons, and those are weapons that are given. Okay, with me, Herschel? Very good. The weapons that are given to the soul are soul powers. The soul is given the power of simcha, the power of Mesirat Nefesh, self-sacrifice, the power of Kabbalat Ol, these things that didn't exist up in the heavens. We'll see. That's what it means. The soul mashbiyim also. It means the same thing as masbiyim. The soul is given powers. Haynu, the be'ed you read it in Hashem alamata. When the soul comes down, lidlabish baguf, to be put into the body, notnin lo kochot, he's given powers. Al zeh shetochel lidgaber, that it is able to overpower chumiyat aguf, the crassness, the physicality, the materialness of the body, and to conquer the animal soul. Look at the 9th chapter of the Tanya. And to be victorious, to defeat at the halamos, restoring all the concealments and the things that conceal over the light of the soul. To do Torah, to do the commandments, to be happy to be a Jew, to believe in Hashem, to be honest, to be loving, to be positive. When everyone else is negative and they're all hating and they're leaving Torah, they don't want anything to do with commandments. And nevertheless, you and everybody scoffs at you laughs at you because of your ideals. Right? That's old-fashioned stuff. And how can you be against, the freedom of the pleasure, the freedom of whatever you want to do, drugs, take anything you want. That's life. You Jewish people, the Jews are better than everybody else. The chosen people, holy people. Where do you get such a thing like this for? I got it from the Torah. Who cares about the Torah? I do. Right? Okay, you're old-fashioned. Get out of here. We don't want to have anything to do with you. Leave me alone. You disgust me. Just to look at you makes me feel bad. Right? Oh, I don't want that. I want people to feel good when I'm around. You want me to feel good? Take off the beard. At least take off the kippah. Right? Do what I do. And then it's a big challenge not to do it. I'm not going to have any friends. Everybody's going to hate me. Right? And suddenly you find out that it's exactly the opposite. That if you're really true to yourself, then people respect you. People respect you. That if you're not afraid, then people will honor you. Maybe not openly, because they don't want anyone to know, but deep down. People told me that they were in the South African army, South African, the Afrikaans over there are tremendous bigots. They mamish hate everybody that's not like them. But a religious Jew they have respect for. A Jew is religious, they have respect for him. I don't know if it's that way in America. I think it, who knows. But nevertheless, even if they don't, at least you have respect for yourself. You've maintained your integrity. You are a Jew and you act like a Jew. The Jews are holy people and you act like a holy person. But in order to do that, you have to defy the whole world. And especially you have to defy public opinion, what people think about you, peer pressure. As we'll talk about more, God willing, tomorrow. Thank you very much.